Defying international law, satellite photos show Chinese ships illegally selling oil to North Korea, with President Trump tweeting his dismay, saying, quote, "Caught red-handed, very disappointed that China is allowing oil to go into North Korea. There will never be a friendly solution to the North Korean problem if this continues to happen." Well, here now to respond is Chuck Nash, a retired Navy captain. Nice to see you, Captain Nash.
To be with you again, Leah.
All right, look, this is really no surprise, is it? I mean,
No.
In the past, sanctions tighten. You see illicit trade. You see coal going through Russia. You see ship-to-ship transfers out at sea. You see Chinese frontmen or front companies for North Korean companies. So what can the president do to put more pressure on countries like China?
Well, I think it's embarrassing for the Chinese. Not that that really matters all that much, but in those kind of regimes, whether you are being sanctioned to allow these kind of illicit trade deals to go on, or whether it's just plain smuggling, either way, it's not good when you get caught in black and white, and that's exactly what happened. We got them in full color. So it doesn't look very good for them, and it takes away some of their prestige. But more to your point, what can the president do? What he needs to do is maintain course and speed. In other words, it is up to the North Koreans and the Chinese and the Russians, by pressuring the North Koreans, to change course. We cannot change course.
But Captain Nash, I don't think that the Russians and the Chinese really want that to happen. I think Vladimir Putin, for one, is sitting back enjoying all of this and enjoying seeing the American power diminished because we're trying to press on North Korea, and North Korea just continues to do what it wants to do.
And you know what? As long as there are no consequences, they will probably think that things are status quo, just as they've been with previous presidents. I think they're making a grave miscalculation here, because what's happened is time. And in that time from previous administrations and how we've handled it, look at what the North Koreans have been able to do with their ballistic missile technology and their proven nuclear weapons capability. There will not be a long line of people willing to forgive any president of the United States that allows a nuclear strike on this country. This president knows it, and pretty soon the Russians and the Chinese are going to come to the stark reality that military action, preemptive military action, is indeed a strong possibility.
You know, you bring up preemptive military action, and people talk about that a lot, but you have to remember that China has a military defense agreement with North Korea that goes to 2021 and then re-ups for 20 years then. So the issue is, are we going to be moving to strategic deterrence using our nuclear triad to basically just try to deter North Korea? Are we going to have to accept this?
I think what's going to happen here is, if this is allowed to continue, and I hope it doesn't. I hope the Chinese and the Russians have already agreed to help mediate this with discussions.
But don't you think that's a complete joke?
No, I think what it is they're stalling for time. Okay, they're stalling for time because, again, this can has been kicked just about as far down the road as it can be, and the next step is going to be something that takes down that capability, whether it's kinetic or non-kinetic. The United States we're coming down to a point. You know, we no longer have the maneuvering room side to side. This is coming to a point, and that's where the Chinese and the Russians, who share a border with North Korea, have to realize that anything that happens up there in the north is going to directly affect them.
Yeah, and maybe some time to really be policing the seas right now. Captain Chuck Nash, nice to see you. Thank you.